there you are.
Customizing your character in a brand new space RPG,
And all of a sudden,
you're woke.
you didn't ask for this. You didn't choose this. Yet there it is.
What's up, everybody? This is the Adoring Man here, and Bethesda just released Starfield, what could be their biggest RPG ever.
Are you gonna play Starfield?
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna play the shit out of Starfield.
This is a huge moment for them, Xbox, and all of us nerds who apparently didn't have enough amazing games to play this year. That's okay, I didn't plan on touching grass until 2024. Personally, I've been having a shitload of fun with the game, and the most shocking revelation of all is how polished Starfield is. I think I've encountered like a grand total of 4 bugs.
What the hell am I looking at?
After Fallout 76, I expected much worse. But there are a lot of legitimate criticisms people have been making about exploration, loading screens, NPCs, etc. And we'll be talking about some of those legitimate complaints, but this is a hot takes video. Games with this much hype behind them draw in a lot of attention, and with so many eyes on Starfield, it's only natural we should receive a bounty of terrible hot takes. Attention viewers, we are arriving at the surface of planet Hotakius. Be prepared for a rough landing. The cringe levels have not been fully scanned, and they could be lethal.
I'm ready, man. Ready to get it on. Yo!
So because Starfield is exclusive to PC, Game Pass, and Xbox, well, naturally the PlayStation fanboys have risen from their catacombs with a throbbing hate boner. One so obvious they don't even care to tuck it into their waistband. But how bad could these takes possibly be? If you're reviewing Starfield and give it a high score, I hope you lose your job.
Attention. We are now at DEFCON 5.
You gotta be kidding me, DEFCON 5 already? Paul Tassi wrote an article foreshadowing this. Starfield is about to generate the most annoying Xbox PlayStation console war in years. I don't know about you guys, but John 280165... Fuck. I don't know about you guys, but I get all of my gaming information and opinions from John 280165804887. He's one of the few intellectual scholars I can truly trust. The console war is one of the cringiest and most degenerate activities you can participate in these days.
A particularly upstanding citizen of the internet here tweeted this in response to me playing Starfield. They said, Alana Pierce should be fired for promoting Xbox games on a public platform like this. Extremely unprofessional and demonstrates a lack of loyalty and seriousness to PlayStation.
Get the fuck out of here!
I can't imagine any other takes are gonna bring us to DEFCON 4. You cannot go to these planets because exploration was a lie. Jesus, it gets so worse.
Attention. We are now at DEFCON 4.
Oh my god. This is one of the many Twitter accounts whose entire existence revolves around Xbox bad, PlayStation good. So this is their grift, this is how they farm interactions. If grifting is the only thing you do as a content creator, eventually you start to run out of material and you have to grasp at straws. And this is why he's saying exploration is a lie, because he can't kill himself by flying into a gas giant. Now, for everyone who also dropped out of school in 4th grade, well, the community notes has got your back. Gas giants such as Jupiter and Saturn are not safe to traverse internally. Wind speeds are in the thousands of miles per hour, temperatures beyond any material limits, and pressure so intense that hydrogen turns into a liquid conductor.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Naturally, Cringe Thrash Gaming here was ratioed into the next dimension. He was hit with community notes multiple times, but it takes a very special brain to continue digging your hole. Especially when everybody is saying, you're wrong. These idiots made a whole article about me saying we should be able to explore gas giants. They somehow think this isn't possible in a video game that allows you to travel at light speed. I mean, clearly, they haven't played Mass Effect, but hey, I'll let them cook. When this guy takes an IQ test, it comes back negative.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
First off, you can't explore gas giants in Mass Effect, you gastropod. And yes, your tweet was so bad. Someone wrote an article about it to make fun of you. Starfield hater becomes laughing stuck after basic astronomy blender. No shit, you can't walk on gas? Yeah. And you can't make a spaceship in the shape of a robot. But I guess we choosy on fiction now, The pressure at the core of Jupiter could be 100 million times stronger than what is typically seen on Earth at sea level. It should be obvious that no spacecraft could survive this pressure. This isn't Goku training at 100 times Earth's gravity. This is 100 million times. But I guess we choosy on fiction now. Dude, aborted fetuses have a better understanding of fiction than you do. Every fictional piece of media needs to establish its own rules and follow them. Starfield is science fiction and sci-fi has its own rules to follow. If you establish that a hyperdrive is the piece of hardware necessary to jump to lightspeed travel in Star Wars, then you can't let a fucking ship travel to light speed without a functioning hyperdrive. It's like, why is the Avatar the only one who can bend all 4 elements? Why can't Zuko water bend? Cause he fucking can't. Cause those are the rules. You cannot go to this planet because exploration was a lie. That's not a planet, it's a star, and you should be able to fly around its surface. Yeah, they don't let you explore the surface of the sun either. Why not?
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert, class!
Why not? Why not? You can't fly into the sun because every material on the periodic table, every substance in our known universe would become nothing but plasma. Every other game lets you fly in and around the gas giants, but the biggest space game of all time from Xbox fans can't do it? And then this guy shows clips of Star Citizen's gas giants. So this is what you want. You want to spend 20 minutes flying into the color red. Is this what you play video games for? Star Citizen is a game that's been in development for over a decade and with over $563 million in crowdfunding with no definitive release date in sight. I don't think it's a game you want to compare Starfield to. Then he also shared a clip of No Man's Sky's gas giants, but...
Objection!
Oh wait, No Man's Sky doesn't have gas giants.
Take that!
It took me 48 minutes to run across this planet in Starfield. 6 zones, about 12 minutes each. So not only did you fail astronomy class, but also 3rd grade math. I feel like this is what blind allegiance and console fanboyism does to the mind. Like, facts, logic, and reasoning become something of a conspiracy against you, and everything else is wrong and everyone else is stupid but you. Apparently people are also upset that you can't run around the circumference of entire planets without hitting like an invisible wall. And I have no idea why you would want to spend your time running around a planet doing nothing. Do you think it's fun in Minecraft to spend 820 hours running to the edge of the world? Well, it would take 10 times longer to do that on planet Earth. I get people testing this for curiosity, but to complain about it, like, you're upset the game doesn't allow you to waste more of your time.
You're off the edge of the map, mate. Here there be monsters.
I would get rightfully roasted for pointing out the ridiculousness of swimming so effortlessly with a 280-pound spacesuit on you because it's a video game, so who cares? But everybody was so technical about landing physics not so long ago. Landing physics? Landing physics? You think you can't fly into the sun because of landing physics?
Attention. We are now at DEFCON 3.
I'm getting a little worried now. Why?
Well, I'll tell you. If you believe such things,
there's a beast that does the bidding of the liberals. A fearsome creature with current-day tentacles that'll suction your face clean off and drag all your favorite media down to the crushing darkness. The pronoun. They say the wokeness of its breath is... Imagine, the last thing you know on God's green earth is the roar of the pronoun and the reeking odor of 1,000 woke agendas.
if you believe such things.
But luckily we don't, and the pronoun is just an ancient myth. So this guy's like, why can you swim in water while wearing a spacesuit? That's not realistic. Dude, in Oblivion, you can swim 100 meters underwater in full iron plate mail while swinging a sword without drowning. And guess what? Literally nobody on this planet gives a fuck.
Stop!
You want the game to stop you from swimming? You want to jump into the water with a spacesuit on and just drown? Or be forced to go in your inventory to take it off, get out of the water, then re-equip it? What a terribly inconvenient feature. These PlayStation fanboys are advocating for less quality of life and more ways to kill themselves. Starfield was 20 plus years in the making, so you get about an hour per year. Hashtag stay salty. No? No? Okay. We're good. Dude, homeboy just exposed himself as having never played an RPG before. F in the chat for this poor bastard who doesn't even know what a side quest is. Look at the way you fucking crop this. Look at how sneaky this is. Here's the real thing. What's that? 200 hours to complete everything? You see how they try to deceive their own audience into disliking a game? Because that's all they know how to do. This is so bad, I can't even believe this got greenlighted in this awful state. My God, why? Okay. I'll admit, this looks pretty bad. But, you know what looks worse? Boom! The original creator of the video changed the game with console commands. This person stole said video without crediting them and omitted the info.
Whoa. You destroyed that guy without even touching him.
Attention. We are now at DEFCON 2.
Oh God, no. Ladies and gentlemen, if the takes get too hot, take cover, click off this video, and save yourself. Gross. You can flirt with Sam Coe in Starfield. This is fine if you're a woman, but I always play as myself in a game. Ah, I see you too have decided to roleplay as a maidenless virgin. It's quite fun, isn't it? This also goes against the story, as Sam is a straight guy, just like yours truly. So why is the option there for males? There's a few things I really love about this. Number one, it comes from the Gaming Christian Twitter account, and he makes sure to mention twice that he's not gay. Tell me once? Okay, cool, no problem. Tell me twice? Now I'm skeptical.
You are gay.
My brother in Christ. My brother in literal Christ. Nobody else controls the buttons on your controller except you. Can the hate boner for Starfield get any more erect at this point? I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. PlayStation fanboy makes 1,000 accounts to review bomb Starfield on Metacritic.
Attention. We are now at DEFCON 1. Security lockdown active.
Fetch me their soul!
Oh no. Oh, sweet Jesus.
I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can fucking current day us. Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity!
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's true. Starfield gives you the option to select 3 sets of pronouns in the character creator.
What? How can you do this?
This alone has caused mass hysteria, and to me, it sounds like a lot of... Hoopla! Sounds like
Hoopla!
Sounds like a lot of hoopla to make over a little role-playing, right?
Wrong!
A lot of people have finally unlocked Ultra Instinct mode and gone full ham calling Starfield woke. They say it's pushing a hardcore liberal agenda and poisoning our precious media, our precious video games that we care so much about. Whether or not you think it is, you'd probably do a better job convincing people of this if you weren't frothing at the mouth.
Fucking current day Californian shit! If you want to play pick your pronouns, then you should have an option to not enter pronoun.
Yes, agreed 100%. The fact that they force you to do it is the problem. The fact that they force you to do it is the problem. The fact that they force you to do it is the problem. They're forcing you to do it.
Objection!
Show how it's optional. Okay, I will show how it's optional again if you want me to. Look, we can go through this again. There's me, king of pronouns. Confirm. Yep, didn't have to pick my pronouns there.
Take that!
Didn't have to pick them. Okay, so you shut the fuck up about it being forced? Can you, just admit that you're wrong about that?
They're forcing you to do it.
Liar! And you would have a better point of argument here if the game allowed you to skip the pronoun nonsense.
Objection! Objection!
So what? Do I have a better case now? Good. You wouldn't survive a COD lobby is out. You wouldn't survive Starfield character creation is in.
What are your pronouns? Skip. Because the game understands that when you've picked the male character, you have male pronouns.
I think the first thing we need to look at here is the setting of the game. Starfield is set in the year 2310, so it's definitely not far-fetched that people who go by they, them pronouns exist. You may disagree with it, but at the end of the day, this is a very small detail that remains consistent with the setting of the game's world and doesn't break immersion.
Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity!
This isn't like Elder Scrolls where the setting is medieval times. A they-them setting for that game wouldn't make any sense considering the world is built around a time period where the request for a preferred pronoun wasn't a thing.
Exactly. Starfield takes place in the future, so he has to think people expressing themselves in a way that is not traditional gender normed. He has to think that is a phase and won't exist in the year 2030 something. That's insane.
In the future, gene therapy and genetic modification will have gone so far that not even the most conservative will be able to say that there are two genders. If you think that things are weird now, just wait until they actually figure out how DNA works.
I mean, this is literally just an option for role-playing purposes.
Well, if it's never brought up again, why do you even have to pick the pronoun?
Now, if you tried to start the game and it stopped you and put this big-ass wall of text that said, "Whoa, Buster, you haven't picked your pronouns yet. You're not a bigot, are you?" You know, then you would have a bit more of a case for the game being woke.
You take everything we love, all our immersions, all our fantasies, all our escapism, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit, fucking crap ideology into everything.
How do you be a conservative when you are a living Wojak? When you are like a subset of the soy jack. We're playing game. We're just having a grand old time. Meanwhile, people on the right are literally creating new soy jacks live, getting angry at this over pronouns.
I think Bethesda's agenda only goes so far as to creating more role-playing and customization options.
Because games aren't just a form of escapism for people who look like you. They are a form of escapism for everyone.
Think about how many sliders and other things you see in character creation tools that you don't give a fuck about, but somebody else inevitably will. Now that I think about it, okay, I'm putting on the tinfoil hat. What if the pronoun selection in Starfield is just a big psyop orchestrated by Todd Howard to get people to talk about the game? Free publicity. I mean, worked out pretty well for the Hogwarts Legacy developers, as the boycott around that game seemed to have the opposite effect. I think we're all being had. We're all being pitted against each other as Todd Howard sits in his solid gold house counting his millions.
Who's laughing now?
Okay, but on the real, remember when Doom Eternal came out and Bethesda was criticized heavily for this line?
Demons can be an offensive term. Refer to them as mortally challenged.
This whole pronoun debate is so eerily similar to that because it's such a non-issue, right? One line of dialogue was all it took to trigger people to the surface of Mars. Well, our standards for what triggers people have gotten worse because all it takes now to trigger snowflakes is this. I think Dunkey put it best when he said,
in the character creation screen, it asks you what pronoun you want for your character. It's like 3 seconds of a game, which is like 700 hours long.
Now, if you want to have this greater discussion of leftist political agendas infecting all sorts of media, I mean, go ahead and have that discussion. It's definitely happening in some places, but it's not here in Starfield. Wait! Oh shit! Look at this woke coffee mug I just found. You guys, this is so much worse than the woke toilets in the Dead Space remake. I would rather shit my pants than take a dump in one of those. If you're trying to say this is woke, couldn't this also just be evidence that there's some corporation or company manufacturing coffee mugs with feminist ideals in Starfield? So in that sense, isn't the world more realistic and similar to ours? So what's next? Wait a second, what? Why is Asmon in the script of this Hot Takes video? He couldn't possibly have... Oh no.
I have no problem, by the way, with this kind of stuff, but I think that if you want to add messages in like this, especially whenever you have like pirates and stuff like that, why is it not possible that you can't have like, you know, a space pirate with an Andrew Tate t-shirt? It says on it like all women are bad or something. And so I think this is fine, but it's just that, you know, the one-sidedness of it makes it takes it from being an escapist experience, and it just turns it into bullshit.
The one-sidedness of it? Asmon, every single person in this game owns a firearm. They have armed security in every single city, even in the bars of vacation resorts on Paradiso. I became a revolver-slinging deputy that used lethal force on the guilty and innocent alike. How much more like Texas do you want it to be? They got cowboy hats too, man. Never thought I'd show Asmongold in a Hot Takes video.
What about showing your friend in a Hot Takes video?
I could do that. You're a loser! Being upset that a development team is mentally ill and spreading their degenerate illness to the customers is valid. Imagine if they asked at the beginning of the game if you wanted to kill yourself.
Okay, so this is what normal people see when a game gives them an option to select their gender or sex or pronouns. And this is what Captain Sexual Assault sees.
Kill yourself now. You should kill yourself now. And you're looking for nothing. And you some zero purpose. Kill yourself now. You should kill yourself now.
Fuck Bethesda and fuck the political radical weirdos in the Western gaming industry, staining it with ideological clown world bullshit. What should first and foremost be an escape from it? Back to Skyrim. What? You're going back to Skyrim? That woke leftist nonsense that forces you to pick a race at the start? God, what a fucking libtard, man. This guy is so woke. You see how easy it is to turn your grift against you? You see how easy it is to imitate it? I don't like ideology in my games. Now let me go back to the video game that has themes of imperialism in it.
Laws and labor structures tight. Memories of faded might. Resurrect the old soul of America.
I almost refunded my game when Starfield asked me for pronouns. I still might.
Now you'd be wise to stick a beer in your mouth and mind your own damn business, because I don't put up with this sort of drama.
They really do treat pronouns like some mythical monster coming to swallow them whole. So at this point, I feel like you guys have officially lost the plot. I feel like people on the right don't realize that they have done to the word woke what the left did to the words sexist and racist. Rob them of almost all their original meaning.
The dynamic has completely shifted with who is the SJW.
You guys use the word woke too liberally. That's a funny pun. Like when people call someone a fascist, my first instinct is just to assume the exact opposite. Because unfortunately, my parents did read me the tale of the boy who cried wolf, rendering me a skeptic for the rest of my life.
We can't see past our own fucking reflection. That's the level of our narcissism here at Bethesda Western Game Company.
Is this not pinnacle SJW behavior? Is this not peak? Is this not a stereotype? If this person was a left-leaning individual and they were around back in 2017 or something, and they did this exact bit, except instead of pronouns, it's something equivalently stupid, like him getting mad that there are more options for a white skin tone than a non-white skin tone in the character creator or something. If a person on the left had reacted like this, they would have been made fun of for the rest of their life.
The people making comparisons to 2015, 2016 SJW shit are entirely correct, entirely accurate. This is essentially fucking blue-haired feminist, fucking big red, Anita Sarkeesian, all this shit, like, you are the same fucking thing. You are the exact same fucking thing. This is nuts. This is absolutely insane.
The Starfield discourse has revealed the rift between those who live in a terminally online hellscape where a 3-second long character customization option in a new video game sends them spiraling into a fit of Vietnam flashback PTSD, and those who are functioning adults. Hard disagree, Mr. Raygun. I remember throwing my Game Boy into the scorching flames of hell when Professor Woke asked me if I was a boy or girl.
And then these people will be like, it's so weird. They'll be like, wow, you're certainly freaking out over this guy.
So the person that says it doesn't matter then created another post because I guess it actually does matter.
As if that, it's a very, very big cope where their entire ideology is framed around contrarianism and know you, and so they have to be like, oh, actually, you're the one that's mad.
So the guy that said it doesn't matter then's created another post because I guess it really, really matters.
I think that my response to this is proportional to what I'm seeing.
Fucking current day Californian shit!
And this person's response, New Soy Jack's response to Bethesda including pronouns is ridiculously not proportional.
I think so many people have been fighting the culture war online like every day for so long, they've forgotten what woke used to actually mean and why we started using that to describe media, articles, and whatever in the first place. You see, woke, at least in my own head dictionary, is a synonym for contrived. Deliberately created rather than arising naturally or spontaneously. The only difference between woke and contrived is that woke was contrived, but it had some basis in a political ideology. We used to call media woke when it had an observable negative impact on that piece of media. Like when people wrote about Witcher 3 being racist because it didn't have enough black people, that was woke. That was contrived. That was a conclusion the writer came up with and then implanted into the game artificially. You know, same as when I made that video on Link is gay and Ocarina of Time is actually a gay coming of age story. I've stayed true to my principles for like 6 years on this matter. It's not about politics in the game, it's what politics do you put in the game? How are you trying to weaponize Starfield and the existence of pronouns within it to fit your agenda for your YouTube videos on your channel?
I guess this is what they have to do. It's they sell outrage, they sell anger. They want you to be scared and they want you to be outraged because they profit off of it.
So when people complain about the Star Wars sequels and how that trilogy is woke, it's not because the protagonist is a female. For some people that's the case, but mostly it's because the movies have contrived writing that takes us out of the film and that feels artificial. Admiral Holdo withholding her plans and information from Poe is contrived.
Stick to your post and follow my orders.
It's actually a literary plot device known as idiot plot. Admiral Holdo is a character born out of contrived, shitty, lazy writing. And this shitty, lazy writing makes The Last Jedi a worse film. It just so happens that people have made this connection between this sloppy, shitty writing in the sequels and what's been going on at Disney. This is a much more compelling argument for woke ideology inserting into our media. Starfield is not, and calling everything that you don't like woke is the same tactic as calling everyone you don't like racist or fascist or sexist. And here's the kicker, okay? If simply acknowledging any form of left-wing belief, left-wing ideology, liberal agenda, if the existence of the optional pronouns is all it takes to make Starfield woke, then what the fuck does that make Fallout New Vegas?
In Rome, I found a template for a society equal to the challenges of the post-apocalyptic world. A society that could prevent mankind from fracturing and destroying itself in this new world by establishing a new Pax Romana. It means a nationalist, imperialist, totalitarian, homogenous culture that obliterates the identity of every group it conquers.
Are we going to change the rhetoric and go back and say Fallout New Vegas promotes a fascist agenda because you can install a fascist dictatorship as the new government of the Mojave Wasteland? Is New Vegas fascist? No.
Long-term stability at all costs. The individual has no value beyond his utility to the state, whether as an instrument of war or production.
Politics, how tiresome.
In conclusion, I think Starfield is a pretty good video game as far as I've played, 25 hours, and I don't know if I've ever seen such a massive and widespread hate boner for a new release like this. So yeah, those were some of the worst Starfield hot takes in the galaxy. I need some more O2 before I pass out. But what do you think? Are you liking Starfield, disliking it? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the Yak Man for more awesome content. We recently just hit over 1.8 million subs and I posted my 300th video. So Mild applause. All right, everyone, that's all I got for today. This is the Act Ma'am signing out. Peace.